Welcome to This Week in WoW number 9. I'm Theefury in game. My name is Paul Ritchie. With me as always is...
JPSmiles. So we've got some great stories for you today. It's really exciting news for those people who are waiting up for the Warlords of Draenor. We have a release date. And on top of that, anybody who was watching the live stream got to see the first look at the new cinematic. And let me tell you, after watching it, it is amazing. I have to say, this is probably my favorite cinematic they've done yet. And Paul, you can say a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it has orcs fighting other orcs. It's got orcs fighting demons. It's a lot of lore. I won't go too deep into it, but by far it's one of the most exciting cinematics. The cinematic is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's showing you about the corrupted blood, how the orcs do get corrupted, and it's showing him turning it down. So something different is happening in the history of World of Warcraft, and we're now seeing the start of the different timeline. This is fantastic. You get to see all sorts of action. I'm so excited that I can barely talk. But you know what? This is great that we now have a date, November 13th, 2014. I've already got my pre-order in. I can't wait, and I'm already prepping the guild for the expansion.
All right. Yes. And a sneak peek of little Garrosh's dad, Hellscream, or Grommash. We get to know a little bit more about his backstory in this next expansion. It looks like he actually may end up being the final boss in the new expansion as far as raids go. So they're releasing the raids on a slow basis. They're basically going to be starting off with just allowing people to do normal and heroic modes. Then they're going to add LFR so that people who aren't geared up can join in the foray. And then after that, there's going to be something called Mythic, which is very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. So right now, we can jump into our third story here, which we're talking about the transmog revamp. So say something about the transmog changes that are going to be happening, Paul.
Right. Now, before we jump into that, there was one little thing that was missed out. Now, you talked about Mythic. Now, what Mythic is 20-man raiding. It's kind of replacing flexible raiding. They like the idea of it, but what they're going to do is they're making or implementing this whole new setup at 20-man, and that's what's going to be our bread and butter going into the expansion. But you were talking about the transmog update. We've got legendary items, warforged items, and now a transmog update coming out. Now, the way the transmog, they're kind of talking about it right now. There's no definite, but it looks like there's going to be a item select screen where you'll be able to put all of your gear instead of keeping it in a bank or in void storage. It's going to be kind of like they're incorporating Mogget into the game. So it's going to allow you to preview your gear, put the items in there that you already have, and make it a little bit more enjoyable. Instead of having hundreds of stuff clogging up your bags, it's now going to free up that space. Now, what else I was talking about there was legendaries. They've started to talk about what kind of legendaries are coming out in the expansion. Now, in the previous expansions, we've had items. Now we had a quest chain in Mists, and it worked quite well. They really liked it. They're going to use that again. A quest chain that starts at level 99. It's going to be less grindy than the Mists, and it's going to be for a ring. Now, players can show it off because it's going to have a visual effect. That is going to be awesome. So your hand will just be sitting there, and it may sparkle, or there may be some sort of animation like the cape. In other words, you're going to look pretty ballin'.
I love that. And the fact that they have specifically said it's going to be less of a grind makes me very happy because the legendary quest item, I got to tell you, for right now, the cape has been a pain in my rear for a long time. I'm excited about the transmog change too because it just goes to show Blizz is really smart. They pay attention to what their players are doing, and that Mogget add-on that you were talking about is really, really useful. So, like many add-ons they've incorporated in the past, this one is just going to be their version, which makes it easier and probably a little bit better performing since it'll be built into their system. Now, moving on to our final topic, looking for adventure. We've heard of looking for raid, But you notice in trade chat, you're always when you want to find a group, you have to go into trade chat and you're spamming a bunch of other things or scrolling by. It's really hard to find a group. This looking for adventure is now going to eliminate that whole process and allow you to either create a new group and invite members, or to actually join other groups that are being formed, whether it be for raids, for questing, for dungeons, etc. And it's really, really exciting. Say so. You can say a little bit more about the details, Paul.
Well, first of all, just to comment on what you said, and this is perfect. This is what Blizzard does. They keep an eye on what the people are doing. How are they modifying the game? Are they modifying it for the better, or are they modifying it for the worse? There was a Gear Score add-on. It became part of the game. It's eye level now. They've had all sorts of different add-ons that they've now incorporated. Now, this one is OQ or Open Raid. It's a very annoying add-on that will ping your status constantly if someone logs on. But basically, it already kind of does this. Now, this is just going to be an in-game UI revamp, and it's a pre-made groups option, allowing you to queue up, allowing you to say, hey, I'm going to do old school content today, I'm going to do this old 20-man or this 25-man. Who else wants to come? It makes it easier to kind of see those groups at a glance. It's all inside the game, and you can just jump in and out of them. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And one of the things that I thought was kind of an interesting feature is that the group leader, whoever creates the group, is going to be able to actually take applications. So people will apply to join that particular group, and they can either agree or deny those applications. So it takes the whole guesswork out of really forming a group that you want based on item levels and all those other things. Really exciting. But that's it. That's our news. You got anything else to say for this episode, Paul?
No, just keep an eye on our videos coming up. We're going to constantly be making new videos, new shows, and we want your feedback. Please give us a holler. My name was Theefury or Paul Ritchie in real life. With me this week was.
And JPSmiles.
Thank you very much, guys, and have a great week.